9 wins in December, 8 of them nail-biters, and that included last night's thriller at home against Atlanta. Tonight, Big Blue is in Salt Lake City for a rematch against a Jazz team that it defeated decisively on Wednesday. Time again for Thunder basketball. Give and go. Rubio comes up short.
I thought Rubio got fouled on that play, but he didn't on the early one with Russ. A little bit of poetic justice.
Anthony gives it right back to PG, 13 for 3.
Trying to drive to the basket.
Jerebko leaves Anthony a little bit of room, and Adams can't tip it back, but there's George underneath the basket to make good on it.
Good job attacking that glass. Steven Adams kept that ball alive. Paul George obliged himself.
Patterson sets up the screen. George behind his back gets deep in a foul. In that 28-point victory over the Jazz. George fights over the screen. Patterson comes to help. Turnover. Abrinas running the floor. Tough shot in the weeds. Goes to the deck. No call. Cephalosha in transition. Oh, Paul George! Punishing. Cephalosha's attempt never got close to the glass of the rim. Wow!
This must be the night of sensational blocks. As PG-13 says, check this out. He times it perfectly, too.
Feeding George, gets inside deep and scores on the reverse. Boy, that's a power move.
I like that. It was just, just attack right away by Paul George.
Cephalosha shows, goes. Cephalosha fights over the screen. Patterson gets it back. Got a step on Jerebko, scores baseline.
And he has that ability to roll to the basket. He has that ability to do what you just saw, folks, that pick and pop. In transition, great in traffic. He's got amazing ball handling skill. And here using that 6'9" frame to attack the offensive glass. And how about that? Now that's not a steal because he's leading the NBA in steals right now. But that was a pretty amazing block on Cephalosha.
There's George with the steal. This ought to be a little bit of candy from a baby.
And did we just talk about him? His offense?
Yes, sir, we most certainly did. But you can keep talking about it.
This is something we can add to it. He's had the amazing block, and that's a big-time steal. We always talk about in the NBA game.
Blocked by George. Gets it back. Shot clock deep. George with the steal. My goodness. Hood is 0 for 5. He's one of the guys you needed to pay attention to tonight.
Absolutely.
George deep, scores from Russ. Paul George on fire, shooting 6 out of 10. He's got 15 points here, and we're still 2.5 minutes to halftime.
That was a laser pass by Russell Westbrook.
Then George bothers Ingles into a turnover. Rubio with the bump to blow up the breakaway by Westbrook, and Cephalosha dumping that down and throwing it away. George with his 5th steal.
And credit that to the Thunder rotation. That's just excellent rotation on that possession to force.
Goes off that screen and scores for 3.
It's a cool hand loop move by Paul George, which was certainly in contention for Rookie of the Year, along with Ben Simmons of the 76ers.
The wing 3 for George. He scores again. 10 points, the Thunder's largest lead of the ball game at 65-55.
And when your defense is solid, separator on the scoreboard.
Boy, keeping the Utah offense on the side on this possession. George with his 6th steal. 11-3, the Thunder's scoring run. Westbrook looking to add to it, and he'll go to the free throw line to give it a shot.
Now, how many steals you said Paul George had?
6.
Is 6 now?
6 now.
Wow, keep your offensive composure. Just keep scoring buckets.
George off the screen from Adams. He scores for 3.
That's what the Thunder have been able to do all night. Make big shots when it counts. It's a run stopper right there by Paul George.
4 triples in the ball game. George into the teeth of the double team. He squares up and scores over Favors.
It's a big bucket. And that's what this point in the ball game. Thunder just need to score. 28-point win that the Thunder had.
Thunder will leave this building 18-15 on the season. Michael, the Jazz have lost 8 of the last 10. You see Westbrook offering some encouragement to Donovan Mitchell and Paul George as well.
Well, they know that this is it. We won't see the Jazz anymore this season. And I like that by Russ saying, look, you know what, man? You got a future. I like you. You play hard. Melo's come over. Paul George has come over. This is a great road win for the Thunder.
Not for nothing, Michael. The Jazz won the division last year.
That's right.